Episode 283 of the TV Dudes, recorded May 13th, 2020. True or false? Is this the real life, guys, or is this just fantasy?
This is fantasy, right?
I was caught in a landslide most of the week, Randy. What are we talking about?
Well, it's a bit of both this week. We're talking about the new comedy based partially on Mindy Kaling's life, which is Never Have I Ever on Netflix. We're talking about Ryan Murphy's tale of an alternative Hollywood on Netflix. And then we got another harrowing novel adaptation over on HBO with I Know This Much Is True. And we also, of course, have our Quibi Quorner.
Quibi Quorner.
But before we get to all that, we're the TV Dudes. I'm Randy.
I'm Les.
And let's. We're talking Netflix this week, and we thought this would be a good time to check in on Kyle's power rankings, but we want to do something a little different. Kyle, take it away.
Yeah, so as listeners of the show know, each week we scour the internet. We add up everything from IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, and Metacritic, and we get this point scale where we rank all the shows we talk about from the first of the year. And each week we usually do a little check-in on what shows have moved up and down the list. But we thought this week, everybody's stuck at home watching Netflix. Some people, that's the only streaming service you have. I've met these people, they're out there. They're Netflix only.
Have they got to the Netflix kill screen as it rolled over to 000 again?
Yeah,
they found the end of the Netflix. It actually says, how are you still watching your show?
Oh, but yeah, so if you are one of those people, and we know you are, you'd probably be curious to hear the 17 shows from Netflix that we've watched this year and talked about. How do they stack up when you compare them to each other?
We added two more.
So we got kind of an alternate power rankings this week.
Does that mean next week we will have watched 20 different Netflix shows in 2020?
Holy shit! We should have saved this for that. What did we do? Amateur hour over here.
I pause and reflect on my life.
Yeah, this is in advance of that. This is completely intentional.
Yes. Yeah, we want to preview before we do 2020.
Yeah, so I'm just going to dig in our final spots, kind of the 15 to 17 spot. Not a lot of surprise here. October Faction. It's the worst ranked Netflix show we've seen.
Isn't it
Probably
also the worst ranked show? Is it still at the bottom of our list entirely?
No,
it's funny.
It's surely not.
Our list is
nailed
so
it
long.
Worse.
I didn't even.
You're right.
Yeah, unfortunately, Desert Flippers is that. Oh no, we've got.
No, is it not even on the list? Where
it's
is
just
October?
Good Eats Reloaded and Desert Flippers, and that's only because they're rocking zeros.
Oh,
October Faction actually has scores and is that low.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, it's
not
bad.
renewed. So folks are. I really enjoyed October Faction. I was frustrated with it. I see why it didn't get renewed, but there's other stuff. Anyway.
Also, and speaking about alternate power rankings, sorry to get off topic, but I was crunching the numbers this week, guys, and I think we are going to do a Metacritic excluded power rankings one time to give it a shot, because I think Letterkenny would possibly break top 5.
I like the idea. By the way,
I like it.
By the way, Kyle, I look at your power rankings here. You have a Netflix show here that's actually a Hulu show.
Oh, which one?
JoJo's Bizarre Adventures.
Oh, you know what? I think that's on here because I binged it on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
I didn't know what the hell.
We were specifically instructed to watch the Hulu episode.
Yes, we were told to watch the Hulu one specifically.
Wait, did I let you down, Randy O. Speedwagon? And less Star. Did I watch the wrong episode?
I thought you'd watched JoJo's, but no, it was Kylo Brando all along.
So wait, in the Netflix version, does the dub sound like the way you've been talking? Is that what you've been doing that?
Yeah, in ours, it's like an Urbane English accent the whole time.
Yeah, it was kind of Howard Zendish.
I've been doing this for like a month. When we talk about that last month on the 17th, yeah, I've been doing this for quite a while. let's just get into the top 15 because then that's the Hulu shows out of the way. Unfortunately, Brew Brothers, that's kind of the new league. That's going to be that's in our number 14 spot.
Yeah.
197 out of 400. Up there with Nailed It, which has a zip, but it's still at a 247. So if you guys would get on Metacritic, see, that's another reason why maybe Metacritic, it's
beloved on Rotten Tomatoes, 98% there.
Certified fresh.
For a minute there, I thought you meant Metacritic was beloved on Rotten Tomatoes, and I thought, holy shit, tell me Rotten Tomatoes rakes the other.
We're inceptioning everything. Yeah.
That's actually something Metacritic would be ranking websites.
the other critics, yes.
So let's see, we got Lock and Key. That's in our number 12 spot. Dracula, which I imagine wasn't originally Netflix, was it? Or was that like a BBC?
That was a BBC Netflix co-production, right?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
I love this, but it is not getting love from the audience.
I loved it too. I'm surprised that it's
I got super angry at the very, very, very last minute of it, but literally all of it before that was badass.
Yeah, man.
That's the weird thing about Moffat is with his Doctor Who stuff, he'd do that all the time where it's awesome, awesome, awesome. And then you get to the end and it's wait, we didn't end anything.
Greatest bet I've ever seen anyone build. What are you doing? Don't shit in it. What?
Friendship? It was family the whole time. This leaf had her soul.
This leaf was all of it. Yeah.
But at number 10, Anthony Mackie, season 2 of Altered Carbon, which 295 out of 400.
I've still only seen the first episode. I need to go back and catch that at some point. It's one of those catch up when the TV pipeline shuts down, which I assume is coming at some point.
That's a good one to catch up on. I was looking at the list earlier thinking that the quality of that show is right up there with some HBO shows. And I just, compared to some of this other stuff on there, quality level, it's just leaps and bounds beyond in the story department and in all the special effects they have. I think I put another Hulu show on here.
You did.
Yeah, Shrill is
you did. Shrill's a
Hulu,
show.
isn't it?
Yep.
Amateur hour, guys. Before that,
Shrill's a Hulu original. I think Netflix is shocked to know that they have Shrill.
I know. They bought it. That's why it's on here.
We bequeath you Shrill.
So that means Dracula makes the top 10.
It does make the top 10. Yeah.
But it does make the top 10.
When you put your thumb on the scale. But then at number 9, or I guess number 8, is The Witcher, which has a 301, 295 out of 400. Kind of breaking that 300 barrier just about.
Yep.
And then, what do we got here? Ugly Delicious at number 7. Guys, I am just now seeing this. My list is all sorts of jacked
Yeah, it's
up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 8, 9.
Bruce Brothers has 0 seasons.
Yep, I say we just... That's what you noticed, Les?
You know what? The numbers don't really matter. We just want the rankings.
We've been
They're in the right order.
I'm
sequentially.
I'm surprised that Ugly Delicious ranks higher than The Witcher, which was to judge by my friends, was Netflix's biggest hit in years.
Yeah, the greatest thing they'd ever made. Yeah.
I heard that, but I heard that before the show came out. I haven't heard a lot of people ever.
No, I had a lot of very thirsty Witcher. Stuff in my feed.
They're thirsty for season 2?
It's
sure.
a lot of my friends who are super into Outlander loved Witcher.
That tracks.
For much the same reason.
All right, so then if you do this, the Ugly Delicious would be number 7.
Yep.
Then number 6 would be Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
It's another one I need to catch up on.
Oh man, I really enjoy that show.
I dig it. It's a little weird seeing Don Draper's daughter like that, but I'm digging it. Number 5, which this is getting ranked high everywhere. I guess you have to separate the ranking for this show with how you feel about Redneck Game of Thrones. Of course, we're talking about Tiger King in the number 5 spot.
You know what's crazy about this is that they've got Nicolas Cage attached to do a fictitious version of it with him playing Joe Exotic by the writer of American Vandal.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm kind of more interested in that now. And I enjoyed the hell out of Tiger King, but I'm like, man, you get Nicolas Cage going full Cage on Joe Exotic, and the guys who did American Vandal bringing their sort of eye to it. That could be something really special. I'm looking forward to that. I hope that happens.
You know, in my head, my dream casting was McConaughey. I was thinking he would nail the voice.
No, McConaughey needs to play Doc Antle.
I would also do Jack McBrayer.
Oh! Who?
I would also take Jack McBrayer Kenneth from 30 Rock.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jack McBride.
I stand by my statement though with Roy from Sigmund and Roy having passed, rest in peace, and Joe deposed and in jail. I believe that leaves Siegfried to ascend to the throne as the actual Tiger King.
Yeah, as acting Tiger King.
Yes, I believe he is
in hiding north of the wall until the whole dispute comes to a close.
Yeah. Well,
we're still going to give it to Bram.
He's got to stay away from that bitch Carol Baskins.
Turns out Bram is the Tiger King. He had the best story.
Oh my gosh! Did you guys hear that? I think it was SNL had a killer Bram joke.
It was fucking great. Yes, it was basically that.
It was so hard. Back to the list. Number 4 in this lineup is I'm Not Okay With This, which came out of nowhere for me, but I freaking loved it.
What's funny is I don't know a lot of people who've watched this show. I think it's flying under the radar, but apparently it's not.
And if you watched it to the end, like I think the couple of friends of mine who watched it all the way to the end texted me when they're like, "Oh my fucking god!"
Yeah.
Well, and it's like I don't know. At the beginning, I thought it might have been. And never mind. We're not talking about that now. We're talking about our number 3 show, which is just kind of proof that this list doesn't really mean anything because I didn't even think this was that great of a show, and it's number 345 out of 400. That's Midnight Gospel over on Netflix from the creator of Adventure Time.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that is the Adventure Time plus the podcast audience, built-in audience.
Mm-hmm.
Especially on the internet.
And it is funny that they dropped it on 420 because it is definitely a 420 show, if you know what I mean.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I definitely watched this going, man, did a lot of people just not have this conversation in college a lot? Because I'm good on this, but maybe this is all new.
Yep. All right, in the number 2 spot, this was ranked kind of low, but I went and I double-checked the rankings this week, and where it had a 0 in Rotten Tomatoes, or not Rotten Tomatoes, yes, no, the audience score in Rotten Tomatoes was a 0.
Oh.
I looked around and was able to put my thumb on the scale and found a Rotten Tomatoes audience score for it, which brings it up to 348.
Which it should be,
which bumps it up.
Great.
It is fantastic.
It was one of those outliers where it's like, why is this ranked? Which, the thing is, it wasn't even ranked super low. It had a 0, and it was still, like, middle of the crowd in terms of the shows we've seen this year.
And the show is?
Sex Education.
Yeah, such a good second season.
With Scully and that Ender's Game kid, whatever that was.
Asa Butterfield.
Yeah.
I think is his name.
And then, no surprise on number 1, which has been in the top 5 ever since we saw it, but BoJack Horseman, season 6.
People on the internet like depressing cartoons. Like weird, BoJack's in there, Midnight Gospel, Rick and Morty, of course, has been dominating this whole chart. I wonder where Solar Opposites, which dropped this week, we're going to talk about next week on Hulu, which is
I'm excited.
That's another. I wonder where that's going to rank in the power rankings because it seems like another one that's just tailor made to shoot up there.
Yep. We're also a couple episodes back in on Rick and Morty. If you guys want to do some old business with that next week.
Les and I are both watching that on whenever it comes on Hulu, so we're way behind on that.
Yeah, I'm like years behind.
Wait, it's not on.
Nope,
it's not on Hulu.
It is not. It is about a season and a half behind.
No, Adult Swim. It's like Sci-Fi Channel. They hide their shit for like a 5-year moratorium or like a Disney Masterworks kind of thing or something. They release like a boxed VHS of it every 10 years.
Yeah, I have no idea what the thinking is on that, but yeah, it's Sci-Fi's like you have a good show here. Why don't you want people to see it?
Yeah,
I guess they want me to buy that Adults. Wait, I can't. I don't want to watch that. Well, this is a good segue. If we want into Quibi, because I don't want to watch Adult Swim on my computer. I want to watch it on my TV.
Let's do Quibi Quorner.
Quibi Quorner.
Quibi Quorner.
All right, so we talked about this last week. Before we talk about the shows that we watched this week, it's a good time to remind you that Les dragged us all into this when he noticed that there was a free 90-day thing. I was going to ignore this safely, and then Les was like, "It's a free 90-day thing," and I'm like, "I don't want to watch TV on my phone." And what I've discovered is I don't want to watch TV on my phone. And also, God damn it, these shows are good. And it pisses me off now. I'm pissed in a different way.
Guys, you know the problem is you guys are TV dudes, all right? You're sitting in comfy chairs. You're watching TV on these big screens, all right? you're not like the person on the go. Which, granted, I work from home, so I technically am not on the go either. But I move from the couch to the back porch. Sometimes I'll even be on the front porch. I kind of like having 7 minutes of content right there in my hand, while I sip my coffee and contemplate my day.
So Quibi, you are the target audience for Quibi, Kyle?
I gotta say, especially within the past year or two, because the phone gets the content so much quicker now. I'm not loading. I get it just as easy on my phone as I do on my TV. Mm-hmm. I've used the phone a lot more to watch stuff. And it's kind of a new development.
It drives me crazy because I want to. Maybe it's just because I'm getting older. My eyes aren't that good, but I don't want to watch a tiny little postage-sized version of Anna Kendrick and Donald Logue. I want to see them on my TV. And especially the one I watched this week, an action show, I want to see the action sequences. I don't want to feel like I'm playing a fucking video game. I want to see it on my TV.
I've been learning about different just shots in cinema.
Yeah.
I've got this shot guide I've been going through, and it's called the Cowboy Shot. It's from the gun holster all the way up to the top of the body. Mm-hmm. All the Quibi stuff, especially when you turn it into that profile view, it's just Cowboy Shot. So even though you can't see the action in Most Dangerous Game, they look like cowboys standing there on your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it feels like Randy, you know who Mojo is from the Mojoverse from X-Men. Yep. Kyle, you for those at home, picture Jabba the Hutt hooked into a Clockwork Orange, eyeballs peeled open level of TV screens all around him and everything. Yeah. And then imagine selling him on the convenience of all of that just on his phone. You don't need all these screens. You don't need the chair. You don't need to be hooked into your whole thing, you giant slug. You just watch it on your phone and I'm hooked into my giant chair.
Yeah, the other thing is frustrating is this is good content, and
it really is.
There's so much they've done that I like. I like their. We were talking about this before we got on mic a little bit, Les. Is that the actual format of little 7 to 10 minute episodes is actually kind of a good format. A 10 episode show is a little over an hour basically, so it's like a mini movie. And if you did it as a movie, it would feel weird. But these little episodes, their act breaks are good, their episode breaks are good. It feels like a good change of format. Something we haven't had in a while. We've had the binge mode, we've had the episodic mode, we've had the movie mode. But this is sort of a new mode of it, and that should have been its breakout. It should have been we're doing quick 10-minute episodes, fast moving. Our comedies are really good for that. It's basically it's not like watching scenes, because it's every episode has 2 or 3 scenes, but it's got a pacing that I really like.
With the format, the whole idea of switching the ratio from landscape to portrait, I think a lot could be done with that.
That's really pretty technically amazing to me. Whatever they're doing behind the scenes to make that smooth is pretty neat.
And the idea of what does content made to be seen in these two different formats look like? Because this isn't going from 1:3 to 16:9, going to widescreen and having the black bars.
And it's not pan and scan.
No, this is different. Yeah.
They have multiple cameras set up, and they're having to figure out stuff. Mm-hmm. And what's funny is I think one show has used this the best, and it's probably the least likely show you'd imagine. To really push this format.
So the thing is, of the shows I've watched a couple different ones. I've only watched a couple episodes because I don't want to stare at my phone. If they were on... Meanwhile, I've watched 8 episodes of Evil because all I had to do is leave it running on my TV. If this is not conducive to me binge watching,
I should be able to throw this to my TV. That's just insane that I cannot.
Yeah.
You know what could happen? Maybe they do a thing where this time next year, all of these shows that we've seen on our phone, they go to the Quibi TV app, and then all the new Quibi stuff, if you want to see it while it airs, you got to watch it on your phone.
That feels like punishment. I don't think you should be punishing people on a streaming network.
For me, their killer app of having it on my phone should come in the offer of, I'm watching these little bursts whenever I have time. I can throw on a couple of 7-minute bits of Flipped and then watch the next couple. And then, I'm walking out the door and I got to jump in the car for a car ride. It goes straight to my phone. Pull up the Quibi app, pick it up right where I was, and boom, it's translated to my phone. I can watch it portrait.
While driving to work.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. In your self-driving car.
Let's have
a self-driving car.
This is a self-driving car, by which he means he puts his knees on the steering wheel and lets the car guide itself.
It's a bus.
So, if you old guys are done complaining about your glaucoma or whatever eye condition you suffer from,
Never.
What'd you watch on Quibi this week?
So I watched
More of Flipped.
I watched the first 2 episodes of Most Dangerous Game, which is it's a riff on the classic, Hunting the Most Dangerous Game, which is Man, but it's Liam Hemsworth, which is weird because I'm like that can't be Chris Hemsworth. Oh right, it's one of the other Hemsworth brothers. And then he goes in.
He looks a little stretched out
aspect ratio. Yeah.
So he goes. He's a little taller. In this office building, and he goes in. And I knew going in this was like a thriller show. It was called Most Dangerous Game. That he was some kind of like, hot shit action guy. And he goes into this office, and fucking Christoph Waltz is there, which I'm like, oh my god, where's the budget for these shows? And there's this great little talkie scene. Christoph Waltz is great at talkie scenes, where Waltz like goes into it and talks about this guy had like medical issues and money issues, and now basically he gets dragged into this Most Dangerous Game thing, and it's a great little bit of dialogue exchange between these two guys. And then the second episode is all about showing us when his medical stuff kicked in and what led him to this. But we haven't gotten to the Dangerous Game stuff yet, and by that time I was like, man, I'm already tired of watching this on the phone. But it's so good, it's so compelling that it's like a solidly put together action with spectacular production values. It looks amazing.
It feels a lot like that movie Collateral, the art direction and stuff.
It's
with,
got a little
Dude, if you made something on my phone look like a Michael Mann movie, holy fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's more to come. I mean, granted, these are going to be goofy shows I'm about to name, but there's a Varsity Blues TV show that they're about to do, or phone show they're about to do, and then I don't give a fuck if this is a flaming dumpster rolling down a hill at an orphanage. It's named Die Hard, and I have to watch it.
So, Kyle, what about you? What else did you watch on Quibi?
So the big one, I also watched Most Dangerous Game. Les last week was talking about Flipped. You were talking about Dummy. I binged both of those. Binged straight through it, which all the Dan Harmon stuff kind of caught me off guard. I was like, wow, that is kind of a crazy concept for a show.
Yeah. It's a show about Dan Harmon's sentient sex doll.
Yeah. But no, I have 3 that I'll discuss really quickly. The big one, which I know we're going to get into a lot more, is Reno 911, which I was already a huge fan of. And seeing this translated to Quibi, it was a perfect fit for it.
I can imagine that. I was not a huge fan of Reno 911. Like, it always made me laugh, but I've only seen like maybe 10 episodes total.
I was a little slow going. I think, when it first started airing, I didn't get it, but as soon as I kind of understood kind of the joke about it, I became a huge fan. And, I was talking earlier about pushing this format. Guys, Reno 911 is doing that. They are pushing the Quibi format to the next level.
Yeah.
There's an episode where they bust into the backyard. Oh, and I forget the character actor. He's in everything. But they've got this kind of redneck Evel Knievel back there, and he's filming on his cell phone, like his little web channel, and he's about to do some like stupid stunt with fireworks. So when you have the phone in the landscape view, you're watching the normal episode. But when you flip it into portrait view, it goes to that guy's live feed. So you have like a comment bar. You can see people liking and doing hearts and stuff, like subscribing. And it's the camera angle. So like I watched the scene one time and accidentally turned it and was like, oh, wait. And what's funny is when you watch the scene normally, Tom Lennon, who plays Dangle, Tom Lennon is sitting there and he's like acting to the other camera, but it looks normal in the wide shot. And then sure enough, when you look at the little phone, it's like he's co-hosting this like web show with the guy trying to do the stunt. They did something similar with Patton Oswalt plays a Alex Jones type character. I mean, so Alex Jones, he even sells like his own brand of moist wipe, like during his little podcast they busted on. But yeah, if you turn the phone sideways, you are now watching the Alex Jones, Patton Oswalt show, and it's like his GoPro camera set up on the table.
Okay, that's pretty clever.
Yeah.
That's great.
And they've had some pretty funny ones. I'm really excited to keep watching that. But and the other one I watched was Punk'd, which you should know what Punk'd is already. They brought it back to Quibi. I think it works on there pretty well.
Yeah, I watched the Chance the Rapper one of that. I think the very first one, like Chance the Rapper, and I think he's punking Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, it's just real quick. They take all the filler out, so it's like
I think that's why it worked a little better for me.
Yeah, it's the 7 minutes you liked from Punk'd, but just, without any commercials or repeat of what we just left off on. And...
Well, that's something you brought up last week, Kyle, was that that's someplace that Quibi really should lean into. That 7-minute format gives you the opportunity to make, honestly, the most crazy powerful bit of reality television. I mean, granted, reality television repeats all that shit so they can get a million commercials in, but this is going to be like blip-vert, like... Well, concentrated.
And Mike, we were talking about this. Kyle, you mentioned you think Community would do well with this. These fast-paced.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think they do it, but 30 Rock would work in this format too. Like more sketch shows.
Great
like
news,
Live,
trial and error. Yeah. I want all my zany shows back on Quibi now.
Those would work.
Well,
that burst.
And then I want Quibi on my TV.
Yes.
Specifically with Community, we recently, my wife hasn't seen it, so we've gone back to watch it, and now it's no commercials, which I didn't realize. I think I've watched all of Community while it aired. Like, I don't think I have ever binged it before.
Yeah, I even watched the last season on Yahoo.
Yes.
On my app.
Yep.
Which I thought that was good. Those shows were pretty good. I'm surprised they couldn't make anything happen with that.
Yeah, they're just as good. It doesn't ever drop.
But the thing is, after you do the second or third comeback, you start to lose people. And also, they did lose Donald Glover, and they lost Chevy Chase, and the show was starting to change. And
did they lose Chevy Chase?
Well, in the same way that Chevy Chase lost Aunt Edna in Vacation.
Well, the thing I learned with Community is when you don't have commercials and the episodes play immediately after one, that quick, snappy dialogue never stops.
No, they blur right together. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like bang, bang, bang. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is too much. You can only do like 4 or 5 at a time before your brain is just fried and you're not even paying attention to all the dialogue.
Yeah, which really, for me, helps add to the just surreality of Greendale. Like, you start to see how this whole, if you stayed on that campus all the time, how shit would... If somebody brought up paintball, it would always go this far. If somebody did Halloween, everything always goes this far.
Well, that's what happens when you have a writer with serious substance abuse issues and control issues writing a story.
So guys, I'm really excited to tell you about the Quibi show I watched this week that I don't think is on anybody's radar. And it is a damn shame because, guys, I think we got a hit here.
Yeah.
All right? Mm-hmm. And I'm speaking, of course, about... Barkitecture. Have you guys heard of this show?
No.
Barkitecture? Okay. So this is a
we haven't, Kyle. You know we haven't.
No one has. I'm not sure you're not making it up.
The people making it don't know.
I just showed you my phone over our webcam because we are still isolating.
You could have made that in Canva.
You could have made
over
that
the
in
Zoom.
MS Paint.
Yes.
No, Barkitecture is a Quibi show where it is like a home makeover show, but for dog houses.
Oh, Jesus, Kyle.
So this interior designer meets with celebrities, gets to know their dogs, and then she creates a beautiful dream doghouse for them, where she even does custom interior design for the inside of the doghouse. Like, she did a farm-style one in the first episode.
Didn't they do doghouses on Making It? That went great. I could watch this.
Yeah!
This sounds to me like the reason God sent COVID.
And then she's also got a handyman, and this guy definitely took 30 seconds of the 7 minutes of this show to like take his shirt off and like work on the doghouse with his abs out.
So wait, I gotta know: is this serious? Is it parody?
This is a for real thing. Joel McHale is the first episode, and yeah, they build a doghouse for Joel McHale's dogs, and he's got bunnies, so there's a little bunny like pin right next to it too. And yeah, she straight up put like decorations inside there.
Look, I'm just saying, I'm not a big believer, but I think that if God looked down and saw that we were spending the precious life he gave us to build dog houses for celebrity dogs, that is probably when he decided to end everything.
We're not even doing that.
I thought you were saying that the pandemic was sent to trap us in our homes so that we'd have time and anxious, nervous energy to burn watching Barkitecture.
This is the kind of thing. No, this is what happened. This is how Noah's Ark happened. They were starting to make biblical stories about building dog houses, and he's like, nope, shut it down, shut it all down.
You know what dogs had a cool house? Zool.
There you go.
Talk the original Barkitecture.
The original Barkitecture.
No, when you see a name with a punny name like that, like I'm trying to go out of my way to watch like a handful of these randos on there.
Don't get me
this
wrong.
is fun.
I'm going to watch Chrissy Teigen's legal drama. Or no, it's not a legal drama. It's like her Judge Judy.
Oh yeah. No, it's Her People's Court. I'm down for that
I'm
for
totally
sure.
going to watch that.
Oh, that's like number 3 on trending right now. I didn't know what the hell that was.
Anyway, clearly Quibi is what happens when Jeffrey Katzenberg and other people have too much money and too much time. That is bizarre. But I'm gonna give some more episodes a look. I wish they'd put on my goddamn TV.
Well, they make those magnifying glasses. Have you seen these? They're like the old school phone enhancers.
Like bubbles on.
Yeah, so you put this in front of your phone, and it turns your phone into like the size of an iPad. The screen.
So, Randy, I think they're going to have that throw it to the app on your TV come out in 91 days.
Oh man.
Did you just read that, or are you fucking?
No, I'm saying it's just going to be the day after our free trial ends.
Yeah.
Oh,
we'll have to go back to it.
That's great.
So let's leave the Quibi Quorner behind, and let's
look up from our tiny screens at the giant television we paid for,
and let's talk about a couple of Netflix shows and an HBO show. Let's start with Never Have I Ever, which is Mindy Kaling's new show about an Indian American teen growing up in California. Seems to be loosely based on her own life. This show was a delight and just a big surprise to me.
Yes.
I've only seen the first 3 of this. It is an absolute treasure. I'm enjoying the living hell out of it.
And
I have also only seen the first few, and not because I didn't love it, but because this instantly became a relationship show. So now we're watching it on the schedule.
Same.
I burned through it in a day. I started watching
Not surprised.
it, and then I was like, I have to finish this for TV Dudes. So I burned through, and it's got a spectacular first season ending too. The thing about,
but to say you and Melissa both said Melissa Garamati from the show both said that it ended great.
I think I know how it's going to end.
Yeah,
I have a pretty strong feeling, but there's part of me that's like,
with her having done it,
let you spoil it for me or not? So
I bet she will ever.
Let's talk about it a little bit. So first of all, Mindy Kaling has been very hit and miss for me. Like, I liked her on The Office, but I really didn't like her show that she did on Fox. And
Mindy Project?
Mindy Project, I could not get into it. And so I wasn't sure what to expect here. It turns out I kind of like Mindy Kaling either written by somebody else or writing for somebody else. I don't like Mindy Kaling writing for Mindy Kaling.
Champions didn't quite work, but it wasn't terrible.
So
but she produced that as well, I believe.
This is about a Indian American girl who is like, she's a nerd. She's got a diverse cast of good friends who are also nerds. They are called the UN, not because it turns out they were not nicknamed this because they are a diverse group of people, but it stands for something else, and I won't spoil that because it's a great gag. She's got a nemesis in this sort of Jewish kid who is the son of a like Hollywood mogul. They're all competing for like these big, academic prizes. But at the same time, she is very focused on getting her V card punched by this hot swimmer dude. And she lost her dad. Her dad died in like the middle of a music concert she was doing. And so she's like being raised by her mom, who is trying to keep her traditional Indian, is like, we're going to arrange marriage type stuff for her cousin. And also, it's narrated by John McEnroe. And there's a reason for that, and it paid off in the first episode. They pay off exactly why. But having John McEnroe narrate this thing is the thing that takes it from this is a really good show to a great show.
John McEnroe is just funny.
He's great.
Like, he does cameos and stuff, and like he can do a cameo in a shitty movie, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to bump it up a couple points because of this cameo scene.
Him having a sense of humor about his own temper and his own reputation is a lot of what makes it work. When he's talking about things that he's like, yeah, I threw a racket at the judge, and that's what she's doing here. It's so good. She's like, I get her anger issues.
This makes sense to me. The comedy in here is so sharp. A lot of times, which granted, these aren't unknown actresses. They're just not like A-listers that, you see in everything.
Right.
And a lot of times, when you give them something snappy, like it's hit or miss, but everybody is working so well with this material right here. And I'm getting is laugh a minute kind of too cliche to say?
This was really funny. And also, I don't want to spoil anything by the ending, but there's some heartfelt stuff that goes on. And there's some harrowing stuff between her and her mom. Like, it never gets dark, but it definitely feels like, when The Office or one of those was hitting on a good, and you kind of would tear up and you get that connection to the characters. Like, it has that too, and the ending is just really sweet and really perfect. I also think they did a good job of sort of, there's some deepening of characters that goes in here. Like, the kid who's her nemesis gets... Have you guys gotten to the episode where it's narrated by... It's his episode? It changes narrators for an episode. I won't tell you who it is, but it's great.
I'm looking forward to that.
It's his narration, and it's a great gag, and we sort of get to see him deepen. Same with like the swimmer bro. Like he seems like one thing, and then he turns out to be something else. We get a little more depth into her mom. We definitely her cousin Kamala. She gets developed quite a bit as we go on, and like the character, the ensemble fills out. And
nice.
This is just perfectly done comedy. This was a huge surprise and just one of my favorite things I've watched all year.
I'm right there with you. The thing before that I wanted to mention, you were just talking about that Jewish kid who's like the nemesis.
Yeah.
The episode 1, they kind of show him on screen.
Kieran Lewis
kind of
plays Ben. Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of do a little montage action to show you their rivalry. And I said right there, I'm like, that's who she marries. Like this, they get married at the end of this. Like that's how the story ends.
It's some tromboner like telegraphing that punch, like sex ed level.
100%.
Like,
you're like, yeah, those two are gonna be together. Yeah.
Oh yeah. 100%.
She punches him in the arm, I think, in the first episode, and I've only seen like 3 of these, and was like, okay, so the arc of this season is them at least coming to be platonic besties.
But it's not in a predictable way. It's a very charming way.
So far,
I can't wait.
I'd say this is so hands down the best work Sindel Ramamurthy has done, in my opinion.
What else is she?
Is that the mom?
No, that's the dad.
Yeah.
So he was a huge character in Heroes.
That's what I thought it was. It was Mohinder.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mohinder. Yeah, Mohinder Suresh in Heroes. And he's also been recently the big bad this past season, or one of the big bads this past season on Flash.
Okay.
He plays Bloodwork, I think is the villain name.
Huh.
And he generally, for my tastes, he lays it on too thick in every role.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter if it's dramatic or comedy or scared or he's a dial to 11, just slightly too much for me. And in this show so far, and granted he's just in flashbacks and stuff, but it all works. Like they cast the right dude. Like, whatever I don't like about him in other roles, it's really working here.
Yeah. I liked him as Mohinder, for the record. I actually thought that was a good role for him.
I think I can't decouple him from the train wreck Heroes became.
That's fair. But he was like their Professor X, though. He was a good character.
I didn't look her up, but I see the actress who plays the mom in everything.
Yeah, she's great. She's got a lot to do here.
We've also, as Kyle I'm sure noted, we got Niecy Nash watch. We got her therapist.
Yeah,
is Niecy Nash.
Gosh, she's over on Reno 911 too.
Oh fuck yeah!
They did a what is the New Orleans funeral where the big band walks through the street with the coffin?
Treme.
Yeah, but they have like a name for that ceremony. Anyways, Niecy Nash, she plays like she's one of the main on there, but she plays like this crackhead woman whose like family member just died and is like screaming as her clothes are falling off. And oh god, it's so great. Sorry, that's not the show we're talking about. She plays the therapist on this show.
Yeah, so yeah, this is a great show. Everybody should watch it. The other TV dude should finish it up and probably come back to it and tell me what you thought, because I loved it. And
we should touch on this again.
This will be an old business for sure.
Let's talk about the other show, which is Ryan Murphy and is it also Brad Falchuk? Or is it just Brad?
I think so. I did look that up.
No, Falchuk is not credited on this one.
This is just
So
Murphy alone.
So this is Ryan Murphy's. He had that deal. Him and Ian Brennan is the co-creator on this one.
That's the guy. Okay, sorry.
And Ryan Murphy made a deal with Netflix. The first show that came out of that was The Politician, which I think we all really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Ian Brennan worked with him on Glee as Scream Queens and The Politician. So this, I was kind of psyched for this. The trailer looked interesting. And as I watched it, I have to say, when it all comes together at the end, I was pretty happy with where they went at the end of it, like the aspirational nature of it. But moment to moment, I was definitely falling asleep a little bit. I thought this was not...
Oh, I was hooked. I definitely wasn't bored.
I'll tell you...
I do feel like it was very fluffy.
I'll tell you my main issue. If fluffy,
for the subject matter
right.
it dealt with.
My main issue with it is this. If you were to put David Cornswet, Darren Criss, and Jake Picking in a lineup and tell me one of them committed a crime... I would not be able to convict whoever it was, because they all look basically the same to me. And I know that they're trying to do a look like this was the look of Hollywood leading men, but it took me seriously like 4 episodes to realize, oh, that's Rock Hudson, and he's an actor, and he's gay, and that's the screenwriter, and that's the director, because these guys all look the same to me.
I could tell Rock Hudson apart because the actor they got for him has that Kurt Russell, like, did they shoot you in the chin with a BB gun?
Right, sure.
Chin dimple. The other kid, though, looks like underweight Henry Cavill.
They all
they starved Henry Cavill to get him to a lower weight class for just this one meet.
They all looked underweight. They all look like underweight Henry Cavill.
I thought he kind of looked like the co-star in The Politician, the really handsome.
Oh, he is. He's the guy that kills himself at the start of The Politician.
Oh, yeah. That is the same guy?
Yeah, that is the same guy.
Nice. I didn't like this as much as you guys.
No, I have my issues with it.
It performed a cardinal sin for me in at the very beginning of the second episode, and that cardinal sin is we get a pretty great pilot. You find out it's going to be about a lot of sexy stuff back in old timey sexy times, and we get to the end of all the sexy stuff, and then there's like a cliffhanger for episode 1, and they kind of set it up like, oh shit, this guy's life's going to change now, and then. The beginning of episode 2, spoilers for the thing I didn't even mention, but they just resolve it instantly.
Yeah.
And you find out there were no consequences.
There's a lot of that. There's the big penultimate episode. There's a couple big rules like, oh no, Rob Reiner's character woke up. Oh, and he's going to run anything. Oh no, he's on board. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the way in Entourage, the guys would always manage to pull it out without any work on their own.
Things are fucked, but there's no real stakes. Yeah.
Like, oh, he woke up. No, but he's okay. Oh, but now he died. Oh, but now his widow's in charge. Oh, but the lawyers took over. Oh, but now they're all fired. And I'm like, man.
And that's why this feels fluffy to me. Like, I don't just mean like the, okay, boys, let's get on fire. But like Hollywood 40, like it's got that going too. But it feels fluffy because they swing to these crazy plot extremes, which I expect Ryan Murphy shows to do, but there's never any real stakes. They resolve, like you said, Ace wakes up, holy fuck. Oh, nothing.
Yeah.
Somebody dies, holy fuck. Oh, we got around it, which I'm thrilled to see him get around it, because at a certain point you realize, oh, I'm just going to get to watch my people win.
Yeah, and that's great. I like that. But if there's no opposition that's a danger, if there's no opposition that's really serious, then those wins feel hollow.
I did like. I think the reason I enjoyed this moment to moment more than you, Randy, and so I enjoyed the
ride, kind
of riding along through the fluff of it. But the main reason that I have good memories of it afterwards is that I really enjoy a good alt history thing. Like when I realized at some point they were going full Halt and Catch Fire with this, that like, holy shit, you're just going to do a bunch of stuff never happened.
Yeah.
Paramount never did this. Yeah. Like Ace Pictures is supposed to be Paramount kind of, and Paramount did not have the balls to do this.
Yeah.
And so like the story they tell about the Asian actress at the start being replaced on The Good Earth, that happened.
Yeah.
She refused the role that they finally offered her because it was the I don't know nothing about Birth of No Babies type role, and she refused it. So like they on the one hand pulled from some history, and then they just decide, fuck it, let's show what would have happened if 4 or 5 people got to a position of power in the 40s, whenever this was, and had and stood up and went, you know what, I might die, but we're going to be the last five fucking people that have to do it like this.
What if Hollywood liberals weren't cowards in the 40s?
Yes, that's straight up. What if Hollywood liberals weren't cowards in the 40s is straight up.
I like it. I like the ending, and I like the aspirational nature of it. But ultimately, it felt hollow. It felt like unearned, and especially in Trump 2020, I'm like, man,
it's so fluffy and hollow, and it is unearned.
Now, if you want
that lack of stakes makes it all unearned.
If you want to go forward and do another season, which they're not gonna, I think it's just a limited series. But if they wanted to go forward and show us what does the Hollywood of 2000 look like if this was the foundation, what is that?
That'd be crazy.
I'd be interested in seeing.
What if you did it with the same actors, American Horror Story style? That'd be cool.
If they did something like that.
If they show me what Dennis Hopper and them are doing and being like.
Yeah.
By the 60s, 70s, you're going to have Dennis Hopper crazy level and Kubrick crazy level female directors.
Yeah. Show me that world. Show me a world where Hollywood diversified.
Oh my God,
40s.
you could start plucking one-off female film people from obscurity and hypothesizing their careers out. That would be really fun. I'd watch the shit out of that.
Fun, and not only that, it'd be a service. It would be a service to these underrated people who in real Hollywood. But that's not what its reason is. Its reason is to make everybody feel good about, hey, imagine if... And I think this is a little bit what Ryan Murphy does, and unfortunately I think it's a danger when Hollywood people do stories about Hollywood. They want to glamorize it, and they want to go, hey, look, we're not so bad. We could have been like this. And I'm like, yeah, but you're not, man. I can't give you credit for the fantasy when the reality never happens.
Yeah.
I do have to give this show bonus points for one thing.
What's that?
Especially since I feel like all the TV we've been watching lately has been kind of lacking in this department. But just like The Politician, it has got a killer opening credits sequence.
Holy shit, it does. The opening credits, the swelling, and then the music, all of it. It's perfect.
The visuals, you have all the main characters, and they are climbing the back of the Hollywood sign.
It really is. It is one of the best openings.
The final shot, it lands on the title card, which is like the Hollywood sign in reverse and then cropped out to where you only see part of it, and they're all standing on top of it. It is beautiful
and
art.
It's thematic too. It's about how they're climbing and how they're helping each other. It tells the story, but also the look of this, the hair, makeup, costumes. Set design,
everything.
It is spectacularly good looking.
The gas station looks
the gas station's great.
Primo. Turn that into a hipster burger joint.
I've liked Samara Weaving in almost everything, and she's fun here. But
Dylan McDermott runs away with it.
Just tears it up. He absolutely steals the whole series. Holland Taylor's fucking great. Everybody does great.
Yeah, but man... Dylan McDermott.
I love when Dylan McDermott does comedy. He's a really good straight man, and he can be very scary.
Yeah, but he's why he's part of why I loved LA to Vegas. He's great. Yeah. When he's such a secret weapon and stuff. But when he pulls all the old guys out of retirement to raise them the cash at one point, and just puts together 25 G's in a weekend, pulling his old dick out of retirement. It's just fucking hysterical.
Also, by the way. As I look through the list of people who are in the credits, there are people who I didn't catch that's who it was. I'm like, I thought it's familiar. So Jim Parsons, obviously, spotted, but
you got Rob Reiner,
Mira Sorvino as Jean Crandall. I did not catch that's who that was.
I did not notice it was Mira Sorvino. Paget Brewster is Tallulah Bankhead.
I didn't catch that either. And I'm like, wow, there's people in here. I'm like, I knew I liked them. I knew they looked familiar, but I didn't see who they were.
I did recognize Queen Latifah playing Hattie McDaniel, and I thought that was they do a very cool scene. I think in the last episode or the second to last when they're at an awards show, because that's what Hattie says to her of they let me in this time is true. They did not let Hattie McDaniel into her own Academy Award ceremony.
But it's not terrible. But mostly I was like, there's better stuff to watch.
If I were not home binging through crap every single Sunday afternoon, what's this show? Let's watch 8 hours of it. I watched Waco in a fucking day, and I did this, the same on this. I don't know that I would have Water Cooler watched this week to week.
Yeah.
What about? I'm kind of curious because The Politician had a lot of this. This is a very sexy show. Mm-hmm. Is this just what the creators are like? Oh, we got to sell a TV show, so everybody's got to be having sex the whole time. Like,
one of their early shows was Nip Tuck. Like Ryan Murphy likes salacious shows. If he can, do salacious,
everybody's gonna fuck.
Yeah,
this
for
is
sure.
super sexy.
A lot of fucking.
And now it's on Netflix. He doesn't have to worry about. He can show stuff. So yeah. So let's jump over to HBO for a completely different tone. I Know This Much Is True, which is a new show.
Another sexy show.
Not sexy.
So sexy.
So this is based on a novel by Wally Lamb, and it's starring Mark Ruffalo as twins, one of whom is a schizophrenic.
Yes, he looks remarkably different from himself. I can't explain it any different than that. Even more than counterpart with two JKs with the JKs Simmons
characters fully shaven.
Yes, like
how did they do that?
I don't know.
The effects are stunning. Yeah. Like I forgot so often in the pilot. It is a really good pilot, but I forgot so often that they're both him. Mark Ruffalo does not have a twin brother, because holy crap. And then in the opening episode, of course, his brother does kind of an inciting incident.
Oh man, the way that was shot, where we saw something happened, we didn't know exactly what it was, and I'm like, is he going to go in a shooting?
How bad is this about to be?
And it's bad. It's a different way, and then
it's a different kind of bad.
Watching him being forced to check his brother into a mental institution against his will, against his brother's will, against his will, the security shutting him down. I don't know if either of you guys have ever been in that situation where you have to take someone to an institution they don't want to be there. It is harrowing, and watching that was rough.
I get scared in scenes like that. It raises up a fear in me of dude, stop yelling before you spend the fucking night here.
Yeah.
We are less than a century from the time in America where you could accidentally disappear into a lunatic asylum.
Wow,
yeah, for sure.
I feel like
so. This is
and so it still freaks me out to see people stressed in this. Cause when he raises his voice, and I'm like, calm down, dude, calm the fuck down.
Well, I mean, I understand his brother's being taken away, and it's his will. And I understand where he's, but it's he's like, you have no power, man. You have no power here.
And of course we got two timelines happening. We've got what's going on with his brother now, but then we've also got some stuff happening 3 years prior.
Yeah.
With his mom being sick, and this whole translation of their dad's,
there was
her dad's autobiography.
There was also some really tense, when his brother just straight gets out of the car and runs across the highway.
Oh shit!
Man, there was if you have anyone in your life that you love who is sort of has some mental capacities, and you've had to deal with protecting them from themselves. This potentially is triggering. It is tough to watch.
It's very real. It feels very real. And all I could think in that scene was if you hadn't stopped the car and he jumped out and he ran across two stretches of highway. If you hadn't stopped the car, he would have opened the door and rolled out. But he'd have got out of that. He was getting out of that car.
So this is done by Derek Sunfrance, who is a director who did Place Beyond the Pines with Ryan Gosling, a couple other things. He is writing, directing the whole thing. It's True Detective style. So it is one guy writing and directing all the episodes.
It's very good. Juliette Lewis plays Nedra Frank. She plays an Italian translator that he goes to try to get his grandfather's autobiography translated, hopefully for his mom. She's sick, but things go a little awry. That's left really weird. What happens with Juliette Lewis's character in the pilot is in the past timeline, and it leaves something open where you really don't know what information he's walking around with in the modern timeline, because they don't reveal something but they allude to a very bad family secret, and just because maybe we're living in the darkest timeline now, I have a guess of what I think their family secret is. And why the translator would show up half-cocked, kind of antsy about giving you the translation. But I don't know. I don't know where the fuck this show's going, because it's just about people's lives collapsing. So there's there's no. It's a life story. There's no climax. It just goes. But it's so well done, and Mark Ruffalo is absolutely giving the performance of his career here.
Yeah.
Even Rob Hubel as his friend, usually Rob Hubel cannot wipe the asshole off his face, and he plays that character so well. It's like damn, I can't think of the guy that plays Councilman Jam on Parks and Rec. But he also has a hard time, like, you have a hard time backing off the asshole character. Your shtick is so good that I can't see you as a nice friend. Rob Hubel comes off great here.
He does.
Catherine Hahn. It's some of the most tender moments I've ever seen with Catherine Hahn. There's a lot more people coming up that we haven't met yet. Archie Punjabi's in this. Imogen Poots. I just love saying that name.
Of course. It seems like HBO has decided that their quota right now is like, we always have one literary adaptation going. So Catherine Hahn's previous one, what was that even called? Mrs.
Fletcher.
Mrs. Fletcher. And then we had, before that, we had Big Little Lies Season 2. And they
Sharp Objects going.
And someone HBO likes dark literary shit. And this is dark. I don't know if I have it in me to watch it right now. Like it looks a little too harrowing, but it's fantastic TV.
Do you think HBO, like, we always talk about how the violence or the cursing or like the nudity, do you think the reason they have some of this harsher realistic drama is because other networks wouldn't air this stuff, that it has to be HBO?
I think so, because like Starz does nudity and violence, but they do it in a different kind of way.
There's a maturity to this. Like, we talk a lot about the DC having this constant problem of thinking that maturity is swearing like a junior high kid, or violence, or like, we want to do a mature Superman story, so why don't we just have him suddenly be a villain?
Yeah.
And like, maturity's not villainy, or swearing or violence, and so I feel like this show could pass a cursory inspection where somebody would go, well, yeah, you could probably air that on TNT after 9 p.m. And then actually watch a couple episodes of it and go, no, you can't air this without a trigger warning.
Yeah, the only people...
Like, you can't put this on network television without telling some fucking people that you're doing it.
I feel like FX could possibly pull something like this off. And then also, honestly, Hulu is getting to that point. Like, the last thing they did with Kerry Washington, which we just talked about, Little Fires Everywhere.
Little Fires Everywhere
had that maturity, and that's what it is. It's sophistication and maturity. It is adult, and it's not just adult, so you can show boobs and swears.
Amazon could do it if you made it feel empty.
Amazon could do it, but it'd be boring. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, there's something to be said for all that we're on streaming networks and stuff. In general, you can tell where a show belongs. Like, but Little Fires Everywhere, like, I swear I keep getting confused with the HBO shows because it's such an piece with Big Little Lies.
I keep trying to lump it in with them. Yeah, I keep wanting to lump it in with Big Little Lies.
And Hulu, I mean, I think Casual to some extent felt like an FX show in some ways. Like, Hulu's brand is a little more fluid than everybody else's. But in general, like, Netflix does a variety of stuff, but Netflix feels like Netflix shows. I feel like the streaming networks still have a bit of a brand, and I don't know exactly how they're defining that for themselves. That's probably down to the executives. We talked about how Prime's brand is boring.
Well, Hulu just went and straight partnered with they decided their brand looked a little FXy and went and just partnered with them.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if now Hulu brand is their HBO.
Yeah.
And Hulu FX is their other stuff.
Yeah, maybe so. But it's interesting. I like that we can still sort of spot that, and that there is a reason to have these 6 different streaming networks, that they all have different things on them.
Yeah, and the thing is, it sucks paying for all these, and, you know, cutting the cord just to, like, have a cable bill that's kind of similar isn't fun. But healthy competition gives us shows like this that push it kind of to the next level.
It's still cheaper than cable.
Yeah, it still is. I don't. There will be Sundays where I don't, or is that because this come on Sunday? I don't even know when.
It's the HBO.
There will be Sundays where I don't know that I'll be able to do this show. There will be weeks where I don't think I'll have this. But it's so good that even with my general disdain for depressing ass shows, I want to see what happens with this sad fucking his brother.
Yeah, Ruffalo was on one of the late night shows.
Also,
he wasn't on it. He was on webcam for one of the late night shows, and he was talking about this. And I remember thinking, he looks depressed talking about this show. Not like he's sad he was in it, but just like, I bet that's a sad show.
That's heavy stuff, yeah.
Man, I fucking love Mark Ruffalo. I'm so glad I'm so glad that Hulk hit for him. So many people did Hulk and it didn't work for him, right? I mean, where's Eric Bana with Hulk now? Ed Norton, I'm sure he's had a fine career, but he's not Hulk. But I'm so glad this is working for him because honestly, Mark Ruffalo, you've seen the memes that go around if someone should tell him he's also famous.
Yes.
Because he just photobombs other people at Avengers stuff, and we're like, dude, you are also an Avenger. Yeah. But he had a brain tumor a few years ago. He passed on... I can't remember what. There was a role he had to pass on because he spent a year with no hearing and half his face paralyzed.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
And he's still deaf in one ear and still has slight paralysis in his face. But he had a brain tumor behind his ear that was benign, but they needed to remove it. Yeah. But removing it was a 50-50 shot of paralyzing his face.
That's crazy.
Or no, I'm sorry, it had a 20% chance of paralyzing his face, something like that.
Crazy.
But it was still a scary fucking surgery.
Yeah.
But he opted to do it, and then he just took the year off and got his face back finally. Yeah. But yeah, like Ruffalo's just also he's a crazy activist on issues.
Yeah,
like,
I love Ruffalo. He's a good guy.
He says he gives a fuck about something.
What's that
he really seems
Sexaholic movie he was in? Do you guys remember that?
No.
Where he played the sex addict? Josh Gad and Pink were in it?
Oh, man, I don't know this one. I know him from Brothers Bloom, where he was great.
Oh, I love Brothers Bloom.
Yeah.
Just for, it's got everything. It's Ryan Johnson. It's con artists. Yep. It's just so good.
All right, well, that'll wrap it up for us this week. Thank you, Les. Thank you, Kyle.
Why, thank you, Randy.
Thank you, listeners. And as a reminder, if you are inclined to throw us a little support, you can go over to patreon.com/tvdudes. Throw us $1 an episode. Help us keep it up. All these streaming services, our web hosting. And in return, you get bonus content. This week, we'll be wrapping up our director mashups for a while. And next week, I think we're going to dive into the Fast and Furious series. So,
Vroom, vroom.
If you want to hear us talk about that, we've also done Star Wars in the past. You can go check us out. We've played different games. We have a game-related thing that we're talking about that should be a lot of fun. So, bonus sort of non-TV content over there. You can check us out. And thank you for support. And until next week,
TV Dudes out!
The TV Dudes is an independently run podcast out of Austin, Texas. We are exclusively listener-supported. If you'd like to help us out, go to patreon.com/tvdudes.
You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TV Dudes. All the music for our show is done by our friend and original TV Dude, Gregory J. Amani Smith.
to find out more about us, go to thetvdudes.com. I'm Randy Lander.
I'm Les Weiler.
And I'm Kyle Scott.
Thanks for listening.